Does your Premiere project window look like this? How about the inside of your media folder? Does it look like this? In this video, I'll teach you how to organize your footage so you spend less time searching for assets and more time in your timeline. Hi, this is Alex from MASV, the fastest file transfer solution for media professionals like me and you. If you're tired of unreliable file transfers slowing down your production, why don't you try MASV? You just need to sign up for a free trial using the link in the description below for faster, better file transfer of all your heavy video files or any other asset that you need to send to your other team members. Alright, before transferring all of those files, let's talk about organizing them. If you're a video editor, it is imperative you keep your footage and assets in the correct order inside and outside your editing timeline. That's because you don't want to waste precious time looking for files when you could be editing. That's why I have some media organization tips to help you create the best folder structure for your video production. We'll explore how to organize your footage on your hard drive and inside Premiere. And I'm using Premiere just as an example. All of these tips apply to any video editing software you may use. Let me first show you my media folder organization on one of my hard drives. Here I have a few folders dedicated to specific projects or clients. Let's take a look inside the MASV folder. It's organized with two folders for the years in which I have worked on MASV videos, as well as a general folder for branded assets that I frequently reuse. Inside each yearly folder, there are subfolders for each month. Each monthly subfolder contains more subfolders for individual video projects completed within each month. This is the general folder structure I usually use for every project I work on. You ideally want the fewest number of folders possible, and the structure should intuitively make sense to you or anyone else. Each folder should adhere to consistent file naming conventions, so you can easily identify the contents of each folder. If someone else has to work with your project, they should be able to understand where things are located and their purpose. If you want to know more about the best file naming conventions so you can stay super organized, check out this video we previously created right here. Okay, so here I name the folders with numbers first, so I can maintain a folder hierarchy and have easy access to the folder I use the most. In this case, the first one is Project. In this folder, I put my main Premiere project along with all the scratch disk folders, such as previews and autosaves. If you use any other software like Final Cut, Avid, DaVinci, those files would also go here. I also include my After Effects project here if I'm creating any graphics or animations for the main video. Next, I have the Footage folder. Here, I keep all footage from the recording, including the audio. I usually record the audio directly to camera, but I also like to keep the audio and footage together because, well, I'm going to be using it together. You can have subfolders to specify the kind of footage you have. For example, if you recorded with different cameras, you can create A-cam and B-cam folders. If you recorded in different locations, you can create folder names to reflect that. And if you film on different dates, you can organize the footage by date. You can also add a separate folder for stock footage if you use it. Remember, the most important thing is that the organization is logical, so it is intuitive and allows for efficient video editing either by yourself or anyone else. After this, we have the Assets and Motion Graphics folders. These could be combined into just one folder, but I prefer to keep them separate to prevent clutter and simplify asset management. In Assets, I put any still, graphic, picture, or video export used as an asset in After Effects. In the Motion Graphics folder, I store any exports from After Effects, such as animated titles, intros, or transitions. Next, I have the folder Screen Recs, which may or may not be necessary depending on the videos you produce. I use a lot of them for these kinds of YouTube videos, so I keep a specific folder for anything recorded on the computer. My next folder is Music, which could also be named Audio. A typical audio folder could contain subfolders for music, raw audio, voiceovers, and sound effects. As I mentioned, I keep the footage and audio together. But I also have a separate folder with a library of sound effects, so I usually don't need a specific audio folder. I also have an Exports folder where I save all the exported versions of my video edits for easy access. For many projects, this would be the last folder. But since this is a YouTube video, I also have a Thumbnail folder containing the Photoshop file with all of the assets and exports for the thumbnail image. Once you have a folder structure that makes sense, I suggest creating an empty template you can copy and paste every time you start a new project. That way you'll have a consistent folder structure for all your projects, saving you lots of time with your media management. Next, go to your Premiere project and import the footage, assets, graphics, and all of the folders you're going to use. There you have it, all beautifully organized. At this point, we're just missing a sequence folder. Click on the small folder, or bin as it's called in Premiere, and name it Sequences. I will also add the number 1 to keep it at the beginning. You can add all of the sequences of your project to this folder. But wait, that's not quite everything. Some video editing best practices also include media file labeling inside the project window. To do this, we can go inside of each of your folders, select the files, right-click on them, and change the label color. Do this with each group so you can easily differentiate them on the timeline while editing. If you want to go even further, fill in the metadata info next to each file in the project window. Scroll to the right and you'll find the sections tape name, description, log note, scene, and shot, among others. You can fill this in and drag each section to the left, next to the clips, making them more easily visible. Click on any of the sections to organize the files by those categories. The up or down arrows that appear will tell you in what order the files are displayed. Lastly, remember to regularly back up your folders to ensure data safety. Always archive completed projects to free up space on your editing machine while keeping folder assets intact. It's also important to always use software with easy-to-use organization tools, like MASV. MASV loves keeping video editors organized. That's why I'd always preserve your folder structure even when transferring large files, making project handoffs a breeze. MASV virtually unlimited file size also means you can upload entire folders worth of raw or transcoded media without compressing anything. You can use MASV to transfer large files, receive large files with MASV custom metadata forms for better media coordination, or just send files to cloud storage. Editors can also take advantage of MASV plugin for rendering and sending entire beans from Premiere to an email address, which can be very handy. Remember, the link for a free trial is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up to support the channel. And if you want more tips on ways to improve your professional media workflow, consider subscribing. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!